Please note that this content is for adults only. Viewer discretion advised. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe, like, and share. Hello everyone and welcome back to another live stream with me, Grizzly. This is Grizzly True Crime, and today we're going to be talking about Nikki McCain's case because there's been huge news. We did do a part 1 and it is linked in the description box, and I would recommend checking it out because I'm definitely not going to recap all of that. So please go watch part 1 if you're not familiar with the case. But because of this media release that I'm going to be reading to you, we're definitely going to be having enough of a recap that you don't need to leave right now. You can stay here with us if you don't know about this case, and we will recap it based on this media release. We'll watch some old clips, we'll watch the press conference, the latest press conference as well, and get all up to speed on what's happening here. Welcome mods, welcome everyone. Happy Sunday to you. I do want to show you this quickly, wait. Please check if the like button is working. Just tap it once. Is it working? And thank you so much for being here. All right, so do you remember this? Maybe if you saw part 1 with me, you remember this moment, because we were all looking at this like, here's the husband, Tyler McCain, and he decided to, break his silence since his wife had been missing, and there were press conferences, there were search parties, all of this, and this is over a year ago. This was in May of 2024 that Nikki McCain was last seen, and this guy decided to speak at this press conference. Let me just double check the date here. Hold on one second. This press conference was held 5 months ago, March 10th of 2025. And oh my word, this was so awkward. Look at him. The sound on this is terrible. Okay, we knew it then and it didn't improve since then. This is still the upload, but just watch his physiology.
You can talk with your title. So we just have we'll have each family member share each other.
Hello, I'm Tyler McCain. I'm the husband of Nikki McCain.
So he says, well, I'm Tyler McCain, and then I'm the husband of Nikki McCain. Okay, awkward. Look at him, look at him.
First of all, I would like to thank the Sheriff's Office, FBI, for getting involved. Any efforts that that might help bring my wife home, safely. We miss you. I don't really know what to say.
Oh my word.
I haven't been in the public eyes, and I haven't done very well with it. I apologize to everyone, especially my children, my wife's family, mine as well. I'm just here in support, so anything that I can do, I want to do that. Okay, I'll take over.
Thank you, Tyler.
Oh man, and Nikki, her body has still not been found. Nikki's sisters are standing right next to him, and everyone's looking at him like, bro, like what is this? At the time, I'd actually put this on to X, and I tagged the behavior panel, and I'm like, look at this. And Chase Hughes from the behavior panel said, oh, this is off the charts. This is like red flags everywhere. I'm like, I know, right? And now he's been arrested and charged with murder. So that's the big update we're going to talk about today, okay? That guy, the husband, has been arrested and charged with murder, even though they haven't been able to locate Nikki's body yet, okay? So here's what we're going to do. I have things to show you, meaning I'm going to first put up this presentation. Now, why I've done this is just so that you have something to look at other than words on a paper. I tried to make it more interesting for you so that you have bullet points and a visual timeline as I read you this media release, from the Office of the District Attorney, and this is from Shasta County. This case takes place in California. And what they've done in this media release, I'm so grateful for, because not only do they recap the case in a really great way, but they also tell us what Tyler McCain is charged with now and what's going to happen next, right? So I'm going to read you this, and it is different to the press conference and what they said there. That also clarifies a lot of things. So after this episode today, you'll be all caught up. So we are going to, I'll read you this. You're going to look at the presentation, and then we're going to watch the press conference together. Okay? Deal? Okay, so it says media release, and this was from August 20th of 2025, murder and domestic violence charges filed against Tyler McCain. Now, if you did watch part 1 of the deep dive, you'll know that this guy is accused of domestic violence. Nikki McCain was going to testify against him at an upcoming hearing, and she was murdered, allegedly murdered. They believe she was murdered, even though they haven't found her body, based on evidence they found, okay, shortly before that hearing was supposed to happen. You know, and it's such a sad case because it is a case, or trigger warning, because it does involve domestic violence. And it's such a sad case because she'd successfully gotten away for some time, but Nikki is married to this guy. She's got 4 children with this guy, right? And so she got back together with him, especially for the sake of the children. And unfortunately, as we see DV statistics go, that's the most dangerous time, is either when you want to leave, or she was still going to testify against him, right, about the domestic violence. So it says the arrest of Tyler McCain, you could see him pictured at the bottom there from the press conference clip we just watched, right, on August 20th of 2025 comes after countless hours of investigation by the Shasta County Sheriff's Office with the assistance of the Shasta County District Attorney's Office, the Redding Police Department, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, the California Highway Patrol Investigative Services Unit, and Multidisciplinary Accident Investigation Team, and also the California Department of Justice and CAL FIRE Law Enforcement. So there's a lot of agencies involved, and they will continue to be involved because they are yet to find Nikki's body, which makes the case more tricky to prosecute, but they say absolutely can prosecute without finding her body, right? Equestrian says Darvo, justice for Nikki. Yeah. Darvo, deny, attack, reverse victim offender. It's a pattern that DV aggressors do when confronted with, let's say, the police. They just deny any allegations, they attack, they reverse victim offender, meaning they play the victim. Okay. Now it says tomorrow my office will be filing charges, which they already had. Now by the time we're watching this live stream is happening on August 31st of 2025. So they filed charges against Tyler McCain for the murder of Nikki McCain, which is massive news in this case. My goodness. So specifically, Tyler will be charged with 1 count of murder and a special circumstance that the murder was committed with the intent to prevent testimony. We will be refiling the domestic violence charges from December 2nd, 2023 from that case. And I'm like, oh my word, I'm so relieved for that, because we were all wondering. So the accusation, before he was even charged with murder, everybody was very suspicious. We were all suspecting him, right? And it's like, so she disappears right before she's supposed to testify against him for domestic violence. He's trying to do everything to get her to stop testifying against him, but then she disappears and then you drop all those charges. That was devastating. To think, so she's not going to get justice for the DV, and also maybe not even for being missing and presumed dead and murdered? Well, now they're refiling not only the murder charges, but also the DV charges. And so they said those charges include, there's more charges: corporal injury to a spouse, false imprisonment, criminal threats, and assault with force likely to cause great bodily injury. Tyler McCain will also be charged with possession of a firearm and ammunition after a criminal protective order on May 25th of 2024, forgery on May 29th of 2024, and various traffic violations on April 1st of 2025. These charges are based on the following summary of facts, and we do love a summary of facts because sometimes you can't get these criminal complaints and things out of California. It's a little difficult, so I'm really glad when they do then provide these extensive media releases. Okay, so it says, on Wednesday, May 22nd of 2024, Chloe Soleil contacted Shascom to report her sister Nikki was missing and that her 2002 Chevy Avalanche was also unable to be located. Nikki was last seen in public at Mercy Medical Center in Redding, so Redding, California, on Friday, May 17th of 2024. This is where I hope the bullet points will help you, because I like to visualize the timeline like this, right? Further investigation revealed she was last known to be at her home located at 17277 Olinda Road in Anderson. On Friday, May 24th of 2024, the case was transferred from the Reading Police Department to the Shasta County Sheriff's Office. Okay, so Glass Onion said, isn't Shasta County where Sherry Papini's from? Yes, yes. Also, if you want to know more details about the domestic violence charges and allegations and what happened, then watch part 1, which is linked in the description box for you, because we looked at a lot of things in part 1, right? So it says Nikki's phone was last connected to the network at her home on Olinda Road just after 3 a.m. on Saturday, May 18th of 2024. Based on witness statements and forensic data, Tyler McCain and Nikki were at the home together in the early morning hours on Saturday, May 18th of 2024. A search warrant was sought and served at the Olinda residence on the morning of May 25th of 2024. However, Nikki was not located. On Saturday, May 25th of 2024, Nikki's Chevy Avalanche was located off the road near Highway 36 and Begum Road, close to Shasta and the Tahoma, wait, did I say that right? Tahoma? Locals, please let me know. County border after a citizen reported seeing her Chevy Avalanche just there on the side of the road, right? And then they said when they found her vehicle, this is now new information, an overwhelming odor of decomposition was emitted from the truck bed, which had an enclosed, I don't know how to say that word, tonneau style covering. So it was an enclosed truck bed, and they said there was this overwhelming smell of decomposition. So let me quickly show you. We did some map time in part 1 as well, but I just want to show you so you can visualize the map at least. If we do it like this, right? We look here. So we looked at some of these areas before. I believe, I can't remember now, but I think his mother lives near this Tyler's mother, with this Wind River Resort and Casino, right? And their house is at this Olinda Road. The Mercy Hospital is up north here. So if you look from where their house is, wow, like her vehicle was discovered. So let's actually go like this. Let's take out all these other points, which would be this. And it would be about 59 minutes, almost an hour's drive away, between, 39.9, as you can see, and 48 miles, depending on which way you go. Her vehicle was just found off the side of the road here. And then now they've just told us that there was a strong odor of decomposition in the truck bed. So that's some evidence that they at least have, right? Blue Jay said, so glad to be here on my milestone with you, Mrs. G, and all the Grizzlies. Happy 11-month Grizzly-versary, and thank you so, so much for your support. Yeah, so this is quite odd. And how did he get back home as well is still a question we'll have, but I'm sure we'll find out lots of things along the way, right? Okay, so if we go to the next slide here, you can see that they say an overwhelming odor of decomposition from the truck bed, and there was also a white sheet with apparent blood and various staining was located in the truck bed. Okay, so let me read the second page. There's only 3 pages that I'm reading to you. Then we're going to watch the press conference. So it says multiple items, including the sheet and apparent blood, was submitted to the California Department of Justice, the Bureau of Forensic Sciences, where testing confirmed that the blood belonged to Nikki. Okay, so they do have that evidence. Further forensic analysis of items recovered from the vehicle's interior and truck bed provided overwhelming support that Tyler McCain was the primary source of DNA on items unrelated to blood or bodily fluids. A confidential informant, interesting, provided a statement to detectives reporting that Tyler McCain admitted to killing Nikki on May 18th of 2024 after a domestic violence incident. Further investigation revealed a history of domestic violence between Tyler McCain and Nikki dating back to approximately 2020. So during the pandemic, he was a spa manager, and because of COVID, he'd actually lost his job. So he was home a lot. And as we know, during COVID, during lockdown, all over the world, DV cases spiked massively because the DV aggressors being on lockdown with their victims was absolutely terrible for victims of domestic violence, right? So yeah, They said detectives also determined that Tyler McCain had made multiple attempts to dissuade Nikki from testifying in connection with a domestic violence incident that occurred in November of 2023. Since Nikki's disappearance, detectives have conducted an extensive investigation to locate Nikki. No one has seen or heard from Nikki since May 18th of 2024. That is so sad. That's such a long time. And her sisters, you will see her sisters have done interviews on News Nation, on Law and Crime, on Nancy Grace. They've been doing lots of interviews. There's lots to catch up on if you just research this case a little bit, right? And so they say that they know that this will be a long road. That's what they're also going to say at the press conference. It's a long road. This is only the beginning of the next phase to now prosecute Tyler. And they say depending on how he fights it or what happens, and also to still continue to look for Nikki's body. Her sister said, we're ready. We know it's going to be a long road and we're ready. We didn't get here for nothing. We're going to continue fighting for our sister. So it says the extensive location. Yeah, through this investigation, it was determined there's been no proof of life for Nikki since May 18th of 2024. Despite exhaustive efforts to locate Nikki's remains, detectives have concluded that Nikki is the victim of a homicide. On December 1st of 2023, Nikki filed a report with the Shasta County Sheriff's Office following a domestic violence incident with Tyler McCain the week prior. The sheriff's deputy contacted Nikki at the Mercy Medical Center where she was seeking treatment and observed obvious injuries to Nikki's face, including, and again, trigger warning if you're only joining now, this is talking about topics of domestic violence. It could really be upsetting for some, so please know that, and if it ever gets too much for you, just know we'll save you a seat. Deb says, justice for Nikki. Happy Labor Day weekend, Grizzlies. Thank you, G, for another fantastic presentation. Oh, thank you so much. And happy Grizzlyversary to you, and thank you for your support. Okay, so she was seeking treatment, and they observed obvious injuries to Nikki's face, including blackened eyes and other facial trauma. Nikki stated on November 29th of 2023 she was physically assaulted by her husband, Tyler McCain, at their home for approximately 3 hours. During this time, Tyler McCain struck Nikki in the face multiple times, pulled her hair, poured large amounts of water onto her, bound her ankles and wrists together with tape, and covered her mouth with tape. Nikki stated based on these events, she was in fear for her life and believed that she was going to die. The domestic violence charges originally dismissed based on this incident are now being refiled, which so glad they're refiling those. On May 25th of 2024, detectives served a search warrant at the McCain residence. Do you guys remember, we've seen a few times when the police have like swarmed the area and been around his house. And so they said as a result of previous domestic violence from that incident, a criminal protective order was issued on December 6th of 2023 with no expiration date, listing Nikki as the protected party and Tyler McCain as the restrained party. During the warrant service, detectives located an apparent fully functioning M1 carbine with a magazine inserted. Through the residence, multiple calibers and quantities of ammunition, magazines, and narcotics paraphernalia were located. A high-capacity magazine was located. The magazine was not loaded but was capable of holding more than 10 rounds, which is classified as a high-capacity magazine in California. An interview with Tyler McCain was later conducted where he confirmed receipt and understanding of the criminal protective order. On May 29th of 2024, detectives learned that Tyler McCain attempted, here comes the forgery part, right? Let's just see, am I there? So we've seen up to this, okay? Now this guy is allegedly committing forgery as well. Okay, we read that, so I'm just going to leave that on the screen for a moment here. Like again, don't we just love dumb criminals? Really? You're going to go try to cash a check. It's a check for both of you, but you don't have Nikki's signature, but you're going to go and try forge it anyway, allegedly? Oh, no. Okay. May 29th of 2024, detectives learned that Tyler McCain attempted to cash a check from the United States Department of the Treasury. When Tyler McCain first entered the bank with the check was only signed by Tyler. Due to the check being addressed to both Nikki and Tyler, Tyler was advised that it needed to be signed by both persons. A short time later, Tyler McCain returned to the bank with a signature both for himself and Nikki. Upon further comparison of handwriting samples, signature cards, and banking records, the signature did not appear to be made by Nikki and appeared to be forged by Tyler McCain. I mean, on April 1st, that was all from 2024. On April 1st of 2025, listen to this again. We love dumb criminals. Like, what is this guy up to? April 1st of 2025, a traffic stop was conducted on Tyler McCain near Highway 299 and Dusty Oaks Trail after observations of being unable to maintain traffic lanes and throwing unknown objects out of the vehicle. What? This guy's driving erratically, driving all over the place and throwing items out of the vehicle? Like a dumbass. Yeah, Stefan says, stupid and greedy, right? During the traffic stop, detectives located Tyler McCain's wallet in his back right pocket. Upon further inspection, detectives located Nikki's California driver's license, which had partial burn damage to it. A records check confirmed that Tyler McCain had a suspended driver's license and multiple convictions for driving on a suspended license. Okay. To be clear, Nikki's body has not been located, and the laws of California do not require that her body be located to prove the crime of murder. Despite not finding her body, based on the overwhelming evidence in this investigation, Tyler McCain will be charged for her murder. Efforts to locate Nikki's body will continue. Nick the Hat, thank you so much for your sticker. You said amazing coverage as always. Oh, thank you so much. So they said, please see the following statement from the Shasta County District Attorney's Office. We will rather now see that on the press conference instead of me reading any more to you. But let me know if you like that format where I read you, if it's like document heavy, you know, and then you can have something to look at. Pictures, of course, you can see on the right-hand side there that on August 20th of 2025, Tyler was arrested, charged with Nikki's murder and other charges, and he's being held at the Shasta County Jail without bail. You know I like to see. How much bail we're talking? Oh, none. Okay, great. Being held without bail. And on August 22nd, he was arraigned. And he will next be in court in September. We'll confirm the date right after the press conference. So what I'm going to do now is bring up this press conference, which is just less than 18 minutes long. So we're going to watch this together. Hold on one second. I'm going to bring it up for you now. There we go. Let's do this. I think the sound should be, it's actually pretty good sound, I think. Let's not jinx it. If I need to boost it, I will of course boost it as well. So let's go like this. And I've made you a banner just so that you know when this is from. It's from August 21st of 2025. So the day after he was arrested. Are we ready? Here we go.
To them, however, was later, 2 days later, transferred to the Shasta County Sheriff's Office due to the last time Nikki McCain was seen was in the Sheriff's Office jurisdiction. Detectives immediately started working on the case to locate Nikki and her Chevy Avalanche, which was also missing. Nikki was last seen at the 1700 block of Olinda Road in Anderson on May 18th, 2024, where she resided with her husband, Tyler McCain. A day after taking the missing persons case, detectives served a search warrant at Nikki and Tyler's residence. Various items of evidentiary value were seized as evidence. However, Nikki was not located. On May 25th, 2024, Nikki's vehicle, that Chevy Avalanche, was located by a citizen off of Highway 36 in an area near Platina, kind of on the border of Shasta and Tehama counties. Detectives and crime scene investigators processed the vehicle and located physical evidence which indicated foul play. The area where Nikki's vehicle was located was searched extensively by Sheriff's Office employees and our search and rescue teams. But again, Nikki was not located. Since the start of this investigation, detectives and law enforcement and allied agencies have worked tirelessly to locate Nikki and to determine the events surrounding her disappearance. Detectives have served search warrants, conducted numerous field searches, multiple interviews of family members, friends, and acquaintances, all to no avail. We still have not located Nikki. Based on the evidence gathered, information learned from interviews, and the fact that no one in Nikki's family has seen or heard from Nikki since her disappearance, the detectives has determined that Nikki is a victim of homicide. Detectives also further concluded that Nikki's husband, Tyler Scott McCain, is responsible for Nikki's death and disappearance. Detectives recently obtained a murder arrest warrant for Tyler McCain, and today at about 10:15 a.m., Tyler McCain was arrested. He was ultimately booked in the Shasta County Jail with no bail for the murder of Nikki.
Excellent. We were waiting for this news, right? I want to show you this. I forgot to show you this, which is from an anonymous participant on social media. And they said the following: Tyler McCain, I see you up all night working in your garage, looking around at the cars that drive by your home, turning every light off out of paranoia, driving around your property, afraid someone's watching you or following you everywhere you go, wondering if today, tonight, tomorrow will be your day of judgment. I say to you, we are watching. It's not your imagination. Does this give you goosebumps? Oh, it gives me goosebumps. I'm like, oh my word. Okay, so they said, never will you ever live a life of any kind of peace until you confess. Forever will you have to watch over your shoulder or sleep with one eye open. Always will be watching your every single move. We have been looking for your wife, mother of your beautiful children. God sees what you've done. It's no secret. Nobody will give you mercy if her family isn't able to have it also. Together, we will bring forth justice for Nikki McCain. Just love that statement. Yes, yes, tell him. And I mean, it's also good to hear, because sometimes, you know, these alleged killers, he's innocent until proven guilty, but, you know, they're very paranoid after what they've done and looking around everywhere, and then randomly things are burning. Remember the whole burning incident? If you don't, go watch part 1. Like, this guy does sound like he was really, really worried. And as I say, they swarmed his property multiple times, you know, carrying out search warrants and things. And then everyone on social media is like, oh my word, what? So it's been a long time coming for this arrest to be made. I'm so relieved that they've arrested this guy, that he's being held without bail and charged with Nikki's murder, because it seems like that's the right path for justice for Nikki. And I really hope at some point they are able to locate her remains.
We'd like to take a moment and thank some of the allied agencies and people involved in the investigation. Shasta County District Attorney's Office, the Reading Police Department, Homeland Security, Federal Bureau of Investigations, the Highway Patrol Investigative Services Unit, and the CHP Multidisciplinary Accident Investigation Team, California Department of Justice, and CAL FIRE Law Enforcement. All instrumental and all contributing to today's day and arrest of Tyler McCain. I also want to take a moment to provide some perspective to the complexity of a case like this, and the longevity and the intense investigation that goes into arriving at a day like today, where we ultimately have an arrest of a murder suspect and a bodiless case, if you will. These cases are layered, meticulous, require months of investigation, hundreds and hundreds of personnel hours, not just from investigators, but from law enforcement boots on the ground, from support services, from forensic evidence, all across the board. It is very labor intensive, and it is crucial that all that evidence is collected, preserved, and processed accordingly to make the case. Despite the scrutiny, criticisms, and the incorrect conclusions that people opine on social media, these detectives and the law enforcement agencies involved continue to work tirelessly on the case. I can tell you that probably every day, with exception of maybe a few, somebody from some agency involved in this investigation was working on the Nikki McCain case.
They're saying that because there was a time when they were very, very quiet and social media was very loud and saying like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why aren't you arresting this guy? Why are you so quiet? Why are you holding back information? Are you even investigating? So they're just clarifying that, yeah, we were working very hard behind the scenes because it's very difficult to prove a case without a body, right? So they have been working hard behind the scenes, and here we are, finally, at the arrest of Tyler McCain.
We have worked on this case over her disappearance. We've used search and rescue, we've used volunteers, friends, family, advocates within the community have all contributed and looked in drainage ditches, properties, rural areas, waterways, trying to locate Nikki for the family and trying to give us that next piece in this case. I understand from the outside, for people that are not involved in law enforcement or who are tracking the case, it may seem that sometimes nothing is being done or there's little progress being made. But especially in these public interest cases where emotions run high, people scrutinize and are very quick to judge on what's going on, and they want information. They want us to release details. They want to know what's going on. It's because of the complexity of investigations like this that information and the integrity of the details are not released, because we need to make it to the finish line like we are here today, with an arrest warrant, with a suspect identified, booked into our jail, and we'll continue with a court process, which is crucial that we are able to prove the case and present the evidence and protect that information. There's also, I want to also address the rumors surrounding the Redding Rancheria and the scrutiny that the tribe faced in people saying that there was a cover-up and they were not cooperating with law enforcement, and this was all part of a bigger conspiracy. I can tell you right now, all those rumors also are false. I am actually here to thank the Redding Rancheria too for their participation and cooperation with us in this ongoing investigation. And then finally, while today marks a significant triumph in justice and holding a suspect to answer for the loss of human life, for Nikki's family, it's just partial closure. It's only one step in the process. Nikki is still not home. Nikki is still out there somewhere, and we want her back. And if you're watching and you have information and you know where she is, please come forward. Please bring that information forward now that this case is at the point that it is, and provide some relief for Nikki's family and help end their agonizing pain and search and let them lay her to rest.
There is a $30,000 reward being offered for any information leading to, well, initially to finding, to arresting Tyler. What evidence did they have? Could anyone help? Were there tips? Were there leads? But also to finding Nikki's remains. So I put all of the numbers in the description box that you can contact if you saw anything, if you know anything, if you haven't yet said anything. Then do the right thing and do that. And as I say, there's a $30,000 reward that they're offering. Magdalena Villa Senor Martinez. I hope I said that right. You said I spent the whole summer, last summer, searching. How many times I had to call Ready till the truck to get me out of a ditch. I even broke my rim. I had to reorder another rim. Oh my goodness. You were out there searching, boots on the ground. Thank you so much for doing that. I'm sure the police, the family, everyone appreciates that, right? I know there were a lot of search parties. People are still searching for Nikki, and I really hope that they will be able to recover her remains or know what Tyler allegedly did to her, right?
For the family and loved ones, I want to tell you that we're all here with you. Our hearts go out to you, and I promise you that we will not give up. We are not done looking for Nikki. We are going to work hard to bring Nikki home.
First, I'd like to thank the Shasta County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Johnson, and all the detectives that were involved in this investigation for their dedication, their hard work, and their truly collaborative effort over the last 15 months to bring this to a point where we have sufficient evidence to charge Tyler McCain with the murder of his wife, Nikki Saley McCain. We decided to do a press conference today to help provide information to the community. I know a lot of people have followed not only her disappearance, but the efforts to locate her, and we have been unable to provide information up until this point. It is my hope that us providing information today will alleviate some of that for the community, but understand that we're only going to release information that is necessary at this point to file a case. We are not going to continue to release information going forward for the same reasons. It's going to be.
It's good to know. So we can't expect more press conferences, documents flying, lots of things. They're updating us now, and there's media releases, and they're going to be very selective with the information they share to protect the investigation, and of course, in order to prosecute Tyler McCain, because it is a sensitive case. It's a no-body case at this point, but there's always hope that they can find Nikki's remains. I mean, think of the Suzanne Morphew case. That's a good example of, wow, I mean, he was initially going to trial, and then charges were dismissed, and then they found her body, and then they've rearrested him. If you don't know about Suzanne Morphew's case, I've got a whole playlist for that as well, right? But yeah, what I'm hearing here is we're not going to hear from them much after this anymore, unless, of course, there's massive news.
It's important for us to preserve the integrity of the prosecution, which can take a very long time. These types of cases can take not just months, but years. And that's time that the family will still be working with us and going through this process. And we need to make sure that we preserve the integrity still going forward. We will provide updates after court on what happened in court and future court dates, but we will not be providing additional information about the facts or the investigation outside of what is being provided today. Now, over the course of the last 15 months, numerous agencies, state, federal agencies, have put thousands of hours into this investigation. My office as well. We've had 2 prosecutors assigned, multiple investigators, investigative techs, and support staff, and advocates working directly with the family all along the way. And it's important to me to tell you and assure you that we will continue to invest as many resources as we need to in this case to bring justice for Nikki. While, as the sheriff said, her body has not been found, and it is still our hope that she will be located. But under the laws of the state of California, we're not required to have a person's body in order to charge murder. That's what we call a no-body homicide case. That is what we filed. And I'm sure many of you are asking, no, we've never filed that type of case in Shasta County before. But we are going to work very hard on this case. And to me, despite not finding her body, we have been provided with overwhelming evidence to prove that not only is Nikki dead, but that Tyler McCain is responsible for her murder. Now, I hold in my hand here a criminal complaint. This complaint is going to be filed first thing tomorrow morning, charging Tyler McCain with the murder of his wife, Nikki McCain. Count 1 in this complaint charges murder, but it also has an enhancement that goes with it, that the murder was committed with the intent to prevent testimony. And that's to prevent the testimony of Nikki McCain in the domestic violence case that was pending at the time that she went missing.
So that previous case, as much as we were all upset, like, why would they drop all those charges and what's happening? Oh, it ties into this case now very well, because when they present this at the trial, can you imagine the timing of everything? The timing of the domestic violence that Nikki suffered, and the injuries to her face, and hospital staff seeing that, and then her recovering at the family's house, and then going back to Tyler, and then disappearing, going missing, and her vehicle going missing shortly before she is set to testify against him for those domestic violence charges. That is going to be interesting. And then on top of that, where her vehicle was found, they might be able to prove that he's familiar with that area, whatever, and then him having her partially burned driver's license, the strong odor of decomposition in the truck bed, a sheet with apparent blood on it, which they said then was Nikki's. I mean, there's already quite a lot, and they're telling us so little. They are telling the public so little, so I'm sure they have more. Imagine the digital forensic evidence, where his cell phone was. Ooh, Uncle Google's gonna get you, huh? What you researched, all of that. I think there's going to be a lot. I think they have enough, in my opinion, just based on the little we heard, we can kind of get the hint. Oh, I see what you're doing there. And it will take time, but I think justice will be served. I just hope in the meantime that they do find her remains, not only for her family, so they can put her to rest properly, you know, and just know what he did and where he placed her, but also so that the case is even stronger against him.
Count 2 through 5 are domestic violence charges for McCain's assault on Nikki occurring December 2nd of 2023. Those are the domestic violence charges that were pending at the time that she went missing. Those are the same charges that my office dismissed in July of 2024, shortly after she went missing. We are refiling all of those charges. They include corporal injury to a spouse, false imprisonment, criminal threats, assault, and assault with force likely to cause great bodily injury. I know many people were very frustrated when that case was originally dismissed, and it may have appeared that McCain had gotten away with domestic violence charges, and I understand your frustration at that time, especially with our inability to really provide you the why behind that. But as you can see, we filed an enhancement to the murder charge for murder with intent to prevent testimony. The testimony, as I said, refers to the testimony that would have been her testimony in the domestic violence case. It is our belief that Tyler McCain murdered his wife, Nikki McCain, to prevent her from testifying in the domestic violence case. This enhancement elevates the murder charge from a sentence of 25 to life without the possibility of parole.
Yeah, we're talking LWAP, please. Life without parole sounds great, but okay, 25 to life without parole based on these charges is what he's facing. I mean, again, I'm just going to state the obvious of what a dumbass that this guy is like, ooh, I don't want her to testify against me. Then people will know I'm a domestic aggressor. So you know what I'll be instead? A killer? A murderer? You thought you're going to get away with this? Like, what a dumbass, right? Anyway, allegedly. He's presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
Had we gone forward with the domestic violence case in 2024, we would not have been able to prove that case without her testimony, without also having to prove that McCain caused her disappearance. Proving that McCain caused Nikki's disappearance back in July of 2024 would have compromised the homicide investigation and our ultimate ability to file the charge of murder and the enhancement of committing that murder with intent to prevent her testimony. We have also filed additional charges. Counts 6 through 8 arise out of a search warrant that was served on Tyler McCain's home shortly after Nikki went missing. And as a result of that search, he is facing illegal possession of firearm and illegal possession of ammunition after a criminal protective order had been issued protecting Nikki McCain prior to her going missing.
Somebody's phone is ringing. Like someone's phone is vibrating there, right?
Count
Not
9
mine.
charges forgery occurring May 29th, again after Nikki went missing around May 18th. Shortly after Nikki was reported missing, this forgery charge results out of a forged signature on a joint tax return check that we believe that Tyler McCain forged her signature to cash that check. Counts 10 through 12 are for various violations occurring on April 1st of this year, after Nikki had been reported missing for almost an entire year. McCain was observed throwing items out of his vehicle, and when he was pulled over, on his possession was a burnt California driver's license for Nikki McCain.
So he was double nostriling like Ali Abulaban allegedly, you know, sniffing some scented powders. Oh, okay, well, if so, I'm glad, because then he was driving erratically and chucking things out the window. So littering, and also they checked his pockets, and then there's this partially burnt driver's license of your missing wife, dude, really? I mean, now that's part of the evidence, so glad he did that as well.
McCain's arraignment will be set for this coming Friday at 1:30. He's currently being held in the Shasta County Jail without bail, meaning he will not be released. The enhancement that we charge to the murder charge does come with it no bail, meaning no amount of money could be posted to allow him to be released.
Thank goodness.
As I said at the beginning, This is very limited information that we're providing today. We will have some documents to provide you afterwards that contain information that will go over to the court tomorrow so that you have that information. But after that, it's just going to be procedural updates on what happens in court, as it's very important to protect the integrity of this prosecution going forward and the continued investigation while we continue to look for Nikki. We hope that filing these charges brings some measure of closure, not only to Nikki's family, but to the community. While many of you may want to call or text the family during this time to offer your support, please know that that can be very overwhelming, and the family has asked that you refrain from contacting them and respect their privacy at this time.
Right. People are always like, are you going to contact them this? I don't know. I don't think so. Not in this case. Not now. Definitely not. I just mean sometimes in cases it's like, oh, you're going to this and this. No, if they want to reach out to me, that's fine. But I don't just want to contact them. I feel so sorry for these families because I'm sure they have hundreds of people in the inbox, you know, trying to get interviews, trying to contact them. And they're going through so much already. But I mean, wow, Nikki's sisters are incredible. They are such warriors. They are so strong, so well spoken. They've done multiple interviews, and it's really just very professional, and they're very hopeful. I think for many of us, when they say closure, we all like, no, there's no closure. But I know what they mean. That I hope that this brings some hope for Nikki's family, right? There's some hope that the wheels of justice turn slowly, but they are certainly turning, right?
Unless, of course, they reach out to you. We aren't going to be taking questions, but the family members would like to make a statement, and at that point we will be concluding the press conference.
Shame. These are sisters.
Good afternoon, everyone. On the behalf of our family, we want to express our deepest gratitudes to the Shasta County Sheriff's Department, all law enforcement, investigators, and the District Attorney's Office for their tireless work in bringing justice for my sister. Your dedication and persistence have given us a measure of peace that we've been longing for. To the community, thank you for standing by us. Your prayers, support, and strength have reminded us that we are not alone in our journey.
While this arrest is an important step, our fight is not over. We are still fighting for justice to be fully served, for my sister's memory to be honored, and for the healing of our family and community. Nothing can erase the pain of losing her, but knowing that the person responsible is being held accountable allows us to move forward with hope. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you. Thank you.
Shame. Oh my goodness. So I'm sure that they must feel so relieved. They're like, whoa, Tyler was arrested. Because imagine feeling like, I mean, we were all like, is he ever going to be arrested? You know, I'm so glad that he was. And even though it felt like a long time, in the grand scheme of things, it's actually pretty quick, especially based on the complexity of the investigation, as they say. Okay, so now what I'm going to show you is I have a document which Grizzly Cat found for me. Thank you so much to Grizzly Cat for obtaining these documents and actually also sending me the media release. I should have said thank you sooner. Thank you so much, Grizzly Cat, who is a real person. Not a cat. People think she's an actual cat. She's a real lady in America. Okay, so here, look at this summary of the charges. It's great to see it like this, right? Damn, look at this. It says personal statistics. There's no photo available. There is, if you look up his name on Uncle Google, we'll show you like a mugshot that looks even worse than his first mugshot, where his eyes are half closed. But okay, so, you know, the eyes blue, hair brown, all of that, age 40. So he's 40 years old. And look at the violation codes and look at the description. All of these charges: driver's license suspended, ADW with force, false imprisonment, forgery, inflict corporal injury on a spouse, cohabitant, dating, sale of all of these things. And then there, murder first degree. I mean, that's the big one. That's the really big one now. Murder first degree. Obstructing, resistance, etc. Public peace officer, emergency, probation violation, rearrest, all of those. Prohibited by court orders, purchase, etc. Firearm, person, so he had firearms in his possession, he wasn't allowed to, reckless driving on the highway, threatened crime with intent to terrorize, and toss or litter upon highway. So they even charged him with that, to litter upon the highway. Oh my goodness, okay. And here, if you look at the case summary as well, then you can also see it there. You can see the charge. That's what we want to see. It's been a long time of thinking, is he going to be charged with murder? Yes, yes he is, and he has been. So now I have this one thing to show you here, which is just a summary of when he was now in court, right? So what happened since he was in court, because we know he was arrested now. We watched the press conference. We did a little recap before. We read the media release as well. So if you missed the beginning of the stream, I hope you'll check it out after. And if you're really not familiar with the case, then I really hope you'll check out part 1, which is linked in the description box for you. I would recommend it because it was a detailed timeline of everything, like the backstory, right? And we like the backstory to know what happened. Stefan says, I like they added the toss litter charge. Me too. Yeah, charge him with everything you possibly can, right? Okay, so Tyler Scott McCain pleads not guilty, obviously, to the charge that he murdered his wife, Nikki McCain. So they said the Shasta District Attorney's Office has filed 12 charges against Tyler McCain. His charge of murder includes a special allegation that he killed his wife to prevent her from testifying against him in court. He pleaded not guilty to all charges today and remains in jail without bail. This was on August 22nd of 2025. He was arrested on August 20th of 2025, and Nikki was last seen on May 17th of 2024, and they know that she was at her property on May 18th of 2024, and that's the last of hearing from her, knowing her phone was active and all of that, right? So it says supporters of Nikki McCain filled a hallway on the 4th floor of the Shasta County Courthouse this afternoon as they waited for Tyler Scott McCain to appear in court. About 60 of them, many wearing #JusticeForNikki t-shirts. So if you do want to like and share this episode, make sure for social media's categorization you also use #JusticeForNikki. And they were wearing those t-shirts of various designs, spoke quietly in the hallway before court and then afterwards outside. Their mood was somber. McCain is charged with the murder of Celie McCann, who disappeared 15 months ago in mid-May of 2024. In March of 2025, nearly after a year after she went missing, the Shasta County Sheriff's Office said they were treating her disappearance as a homicide. And then after that, so after saying, okay, we're treating her disappearance as a homicide, he decided to show up at a press conference and make that crappy little speech that we saw at the beginning of this live stream. That was, one could say brave, but I'm rather going to say stupid. Like, really? He was so awkward. That was unbelievable to watch him there. So anyways, McCain was charged with her murder yesterday in a filing by the District Attorney's Office that also includes 11 other charges and a number of special allegations, including one that he killed his wife in order to prevent her from testifying against him in court on domestic violence charges. Shame. Look at all the support, right? McCain appeared briefly in court today where he was mostly shielded from view by his attorney, Michael Borges, who asked the court not to allow photos or videos of McCain while he's in custody. So that's why we don't have too many photos of him, right? We don't mind. We don't want to look at him. The Honorable Judge Adam B. Ryan did not agree to that request, but did forbid the media from taking photos or videos that show him in restraint. So there's like a little bit, there's side pictures. I'll show you now. It's a couple of side pictures, but not much. McCain did not speak during the arraignment, but his defense attorney, Borges, pleaded not guilty to all charges on his behalf. Yeah, he's a huge coward, in case you guys didn't know. At District Attorney Stephanie Bridges' request, the judge ordered McCain to continue to be held without bail due to the seriousness of the charges against him. Borges did not contest the request. Shame. They say some supporters of Nikki McCain wore Justice for Nikki t-shirts. Photos by Annalise Pierce. That's so nice, you know, that people are supporting Nikki's family. If there's anyone that's here, if you're a Grizzly and you were there, please let me know. That's always nice to know. Send me pictures. As Bridget approached the courtroom before the arraignment, flanked by staff, one woman holding a service dog told her tearfully, "We wanted to give you a standing ovation." Bridget only nodded quietly in response. She faced significant scrutiny from the community over the 15 months since Celie McCain went missing. Bridget began prosecuting McCain early in 2024 on charges of felony domestic violence that included corporal injury, assault by means of force likely to produce great bodily injury, criminal threats, and false imprisonment. Nikki was scheduled to testify against her husband in his upcoming trial when she went missing. The DA's office dropped the charges shortly after, saying they were unlikely to succeed without her testimony, but noting that the charges could be refiled later. Yesterday, August 21st, the DA refiled those domestic violence charges along with others, and all of this is what we've already read before. So I just wanted to show you that. And the last sentence here says he will appear again in court on September 3rd for a preliminary hearing that is expected to last 3 to 5 days. So that is that update. And if we just look over here, we will see just a quick side picture of him posted by, I think this is ABC, no, sorry, it's Action News Now. So there he is in court. They said Tyler McCain's next court date is set for Tuesday, September 2nd, when he'll have his predisposition hearing. After that, McCain will have a long cause preliminary hearing on Wednesday, September 3rd. McCain's lawyer, Michael Borges, who wore a mask in the courtroom, blocked visitors from looking at McCain and did not face the audience, asked the judge to ban the media from taking photographs or videos of McCain while he's in custody during the entirety of the trial. His request was denied. Yeah, okay, the judge was like, no, we're going to look at him a little bit. So, yeah, what's with the secrecy? I thought he's so innocent. Sorry. I know defense attorneys have a job to do. I'm just like, oh, you want to hide him from view already now? Like, oh, no, all we can do, the best we can do now is just not have him too much in the media here. Oh, but he's in it. This is now international news. It's been international news for a while already. Sorry, sir, but yeah, we're looking at him. And he's a huge coward and a huge red flag with major charges now, facing murder charges. So I will keep you posted on this case. Go check out part 1 if you haven't yet. And yeah, I'll put links to all my sources in the description box. There's Grizzly Cat. The Grizzly Cat, thank you so much for the documents and the media summaries and everything that you sent, the media releases. I mean, those are, I'm so glad that they wrote those so that we had lots of information, you know, today to go over together. So thank you everyone for being here. I see that half of you checked that your like button worked. If you haven't yet checked, could you just tap it once? And then if you share it as well, hashtag justice for Nikki, hashtag DV awareness is also a good one to share. And I'll, as I say, I'll keep you posted. I hope that you have a wonderful day ahead or whatever time it is for you. And of course, happy Labor Day weekend for anyone who's celebrating. I think it's mostly in America, right? And Canada. It's not holiday for us in Switzerland, but happy holiday weekend to you. Okay, to all of you. Rexy said, are they going to stream the hearing on Tuesday? It's so crazy to think that Tuesday is already September. I was like, Tuesday? We're in August now. Oh, yeah. They didn't actually specify, so we'll have to wait and see if they will or won't. Of course, we'll be watching the Donna Adelson trial. Will she take the stand? I don't know. All right, so I will see you again very soon. In the meantime, remember, stay safe, and yeah, I hope you spend some time in nature and look after your mental health. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everyone. See you again very soon.